And welcome back to our second part of my interview with Jake Estrada. And he is the director of the upcoming film ZOMMED. It comes out October 15th, which is just days away. And I have to say, this is a really innovative idea. I mean, you came up with this idea during the pandemic. You used the tool that everybody was using to conduct business, to keep working, and you turned it into a horror film, which I think is an awesome idea. So tell us how the origins of this film came about and what took the process of making it, and the highs and the lows of during the production.
So, like you said, we were stuck during the pandemic, and everyone was saying, "Oh, let's have a Zoom meeting." I was doing Zoom meetings, talking to people over Zoom, and I started thinking, you know what, man? I'm a bit bored here, and I have to find a way to make a movie. And I started to sit down. I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool? And then something happened on the news. They were talking about how somebody was having a Zoom meeting, and it was a murder right behind them that was happening. I thought, yeah, that's actually a great idea. That's something to go with that. So, that's where I get the byline. Inspired by a true story, based on a true story. The true part of it, there was an actual murder that did happen whilst people were talking on Zoom. So I was like, this is going to be a great plot for my movie.
Real life makes the best art.
Yeah, it really does. So I ended up writing the script for it, and I wrote the script out, and then I reached out to a few people. I was like, hey, would you be interested in being in my movie? And they're like, sure. I would be over Zoom. Most of the stuff we'll have to plan, and we planned out, how they would be eliminated, killed, and all that kind of stuff over Zoom. So there was a lot of talk. But then I told them, but most of the interactions, I told them, try to be real as possible. Read the script, but you could be, you can ad-lib, you can react any way you want, be as crazy as you want, because this is Zoom,
Yeah.
So try to make it like legitimate, real interaction with real people, and
be yourself with the volume up.
A lot of these people ended up being really good, and ended up being something different, something unique in itself. And
that's how I used to be with the actors in our movies. I'm like, don't try to memorize the lines. Say them as if you're saying them. Make it be you. You are the person being this person, and don't act. Just be you. And it works.
And that's the best way of doing that, Try to make it as legitimate as possible. And that's how we started doing that. So we filmed the majority of the film over Zoom. And as we're doing it that way, I would say maybe about 95% of the film is done over Zoom. And there's a few parts of it where we actually get together, and we filmed it in person as well. We took as many precautions as we could with the movie to do that at the time, and we sat around and we did that, and it came out pretty good. It came out. I was impressed with it, and then that's how we ended up with Zoom. It's basically Zoom itself is about a killer in the movie. That it gets dubbed as the Zoom Time Killer, and that's why if you see the trailer for it, you've been zoomed.
Yeah, because I used to make the posters. I used to cut and paste the movie posters for our movies, and I did a tagline for our first movie, Stab, and it was called "Get Ready to Get Stabbed." But the thing was, is I didn't notice because I was up all night editing and making all this stuff because I was doing all the heavy lifting. But what was funny was that I had accidentally put an extra, a couple extra D's onto the poster after I printed it out, and people were like, "What does dad mean?" And I'm like, "Shit." So it's the small little details, but it worked. People liked it because then people would start going dab, and then of course a few of my brother's friends would make a song out of it. So those happy little mistakes always works. Any of those that happened in this movie?
There's plenty of happy little mistakes mistakes inside the movie. and I just rolled with it, man. That's all you do. Like you say, you just roll with it. You just can't let it hem you up. You're like, okay, all right.
Yep, I know those feelings. But how long did it take to make? I mean, generally, you know, not counting the, I'm sure, you know, the editing was possibly maybe the long haul. But how?
So the majority of the movie, it took about, I want to say, 90% of the film was shot in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, we got online and we just went through the whole thing like an actual Zoom conversation. We were talking, we played it out, we played out the parts, we spent roughly about 5 hours online.
Whew.
Yeah. We were going back and forth on it, we were talking out, and I was done, and then one bad thing happened. I was saving it on my computer desktop as we were filming it, right? And it was saved over Zoom, and the computer that I was using crashed. Died. The motherboard went, the hard drive went bad, and I was like, oh no. So I took it to a computer repair place, and they told me they could not retrieve the information initially.
Oh, man.
I'm like, what? It's there. What are you talking about? So I was angry about that. But then my buddy David, who's also in the movie, he told me, no. That information's in that computer somewhere. Let me see what I could do. David was able to pull out the information about 3 months after that incident happened. It took him some time, but he was able to retrieve it, and he found it. He got it to me, and I was like, oh my God, you saved my life. We don't have to film this. We don't have to spend a whole day doing this again.
I know. My brother and I, our problems was that we had actors that would get halfway through with the movie, and then they were like, I don't want to do this no more. We always had that problem. Someone always quit on us because either, you know, they had problems with chemicals, or, you know, they just, you know, got bored and like, oh, what, look, a light, a pretty light with a bug. You know, they kind of wandered off and never came back, so. But I tell you what, I mean, but yeah, the process of actually filming a movie, I always felt, I don't know, it was like an inner joy, just like, you know, it's just like painting, like an artist with a paint brush, you know, throwing something out there, you know, with that blank canvas, and then the editing process, you know, was a bit of a tedious one because I always had one person over one shoulder and the other person over the shoulder, like, oh, let's do it like this, let's do it like that, you know. Of course, that kind of distracted me and kind of made me want it. All right, fine, you edit it, and I'm going to stand behind you and point all the little details out to you and aggravate the hell out of you. But oddly enough, my brother, you know, he ended up becoming very, very good at it and everything. That's one thing I think he would have been great at. But yeah, it's I can't. I have told people many a times, you know, one of the greatest feels that, you know, not next to writing, because I love writing, because I think writing is possibly one of the best things anybody can therapeutic wise help. But I just, you know, making a movie was possibly for me, you know, just something that, you know, it's almost like you're doing something that Steven Spielberg is doing, that George Lucas has done, that Martin Scorsese, John Carpenter, and all these guys before you. You're doing exactly what they're doing, though you don't have a studio, you know, sticking a rod up your ass and everything to aggravate the hell out of you. But, you know, nonetheless, you know, you still feel that pressure because you want that movie to be the best you possibly can.
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's exactly it. You know, the only difference between you and them is money.
Yep.
It's the only difference, you know?
Yep, and there was no money in our movies at all. But it didn't show. It didn't show. I will give you that.
Yeah, you know, and no matter what, you know, if the script is okay or good, you know, quality will eventually rise to the top, no matter how low budget it is, and people will recognize that. You know, now you can get a great movie with great special effects, but the story makes no sense. You're like, what did I just watch?
Yep. There's a few movies that's come out lately that you can say that. And sadly, I can say that last Star Wars movie was kind of there.
Yeah, Hanks film from like a decade ago.
Yeah, you know, I saw I think it was a director's cut that I watched, and because I didn't see the theatrical version, but I think I have the director's cut is what I own, and I watched it, and it was okay, but I did see that there was just some things that you could tell that the studio had interfered. You can always tell when a studio head that doesn't know his ass from his elbow about filmmaking has interfered. You can always tell because it's too crisp and it's not organic.
Yeah, there's just things about that. It makes you shake your head. You're like, man, had they just let the director do their own thing, they would have gone a lot better at the film.
Yo, exactly. Exactly. But, again, so how is everybody going to be able to watch Zoom? How do we get to see this movie?
So, I've entered Zoom in quite a few film festivals that we speak right now, and then also I'm going to have on October 15th here in Melbourne, Florida. I'm having a premiere for it in Cinema World. So we're going to have a red carpet experience. We're going to have, so we're going to have that there, and then after that, I'm going to upload it to YouTube on my channel and put it up there, and I'm going to start sending that to people. And I'm actually right now I'm looking for reviewers for it, so I might sneak you a copy, and you might be able to review it for me.
Hey, I'll text you my address, brother. I'll be more than happy to. More than happy to.
Sweet.
All right, well, folks, I will make sure that the links will be down below on how you can watch Zoom. And when it comes to Bocas, how does people? Is that on your YouTube channel as well?
Yeah, you can find Bocas now on YouTube. It was on Amazon for about a year, and then how the nature of that works. Eventually, they took that down. So now you can watch that on YouTube if you want, or if you're out in Orlando right now at Phantasm Horror Film Festival, there's a vendor out there that has Blu-rays of Bocas too. He's selling them for me right now too.
All right. Well, I'll make sure that the links are down below. Matter of fact, I'll have you text them to me later. But again, folks, check out Zoom, October 15th. And be sure to, I said, the links will be down below. Check this movie out. I'll be giving a review. Matter of fact, I'll do it live on Facebook. How's that sound? I'll do it live on Facebook for you.
That's awesome.
All right, man. All right, folks. Well, that's all the time we got. We got a third part of this episode coming out where we'll be talking about our favorite moments and favorite memories watching horror films. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, hit that like button. If you hadn't yet, subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe and support this channel. Absolutely love doing this. And I do it for you guys because I absolutely love movies. Jake, thank you again. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks. That's the end of this episode of the Movie Dawgs Show. Thanks for watching, and please keep on watching, folks. Bye.